delicatebeats.com.
Hey, what's up guys? JT here for delicatebeats.com. If you're an EDM producer, you know how important effects are. I'm talking about risers, boomers, impacts, and any other transition sound. So open up Alchemy in Logic Pro X and I'm gonna show you a few steps to create your own custom effects. Let's go. Alright, so today we are going to create a bunch of sound effects using white noise to improve our transition game in our EDM beats. The first thing we're going to need is to load up the Alchemy soft synth on a MIDI track. Let's initialize the patch by going to the file menu and press clear. And let's open the advanced tab. By default, we are going to get this sound, which is a saw wave produced by source A. So we are going to go into the detailed tab for source A and we're going to turn off the oscillator and turn on the noise generator. Now we get this sound. Let's go back to the global tab and let's look at filter 1 and especially the filter cutoff noise knob. So if I move this knob while playing the noise, here's what we get. Right, so you already see that we have some sound effects. All we need to do is automate the movement of the knob here. All right, so the next part of the tutorial is going to be about filter automations in Logic Pro X. The first thing we need to do is record some MIDI information. Like so. I'm going to quantize this note and let's cut the track here. I'm going to split it and then I'm going to lengthen it to 3 to the beginning of the third bar. By the way, I'm pressing Alt down while dragging my MIDI clip and that's how I'm lengthening the whole thing on the grid. Now to create this automation we are going to select this track and press A. As you can see, it gets darker on the MIDI clip and you have this gray line here and also these two drop down menus. The second drop down is where you're going to choose the knob or value you want to automate. In this case it's in Alchemy for filter 1 and we are going to automate the filter 1 cutoff. Now the line has moved all the way up here and it says 20,000 Hertz. This is the value currently on the filter cutoff here on our knob. So what we're going to do is create an end point and by default it creates a beginning point. And let's say we were to create a riser, we would start with the filter closed and finish the clip with the filter all the way open. So here's what it sounds like. Okay. If we were to invert this automation like this, we would get an impact. And finally, if I used a 4-bar clip and create a third point, let's start right here. And on the second cursor slot, I'm going to use the automation curve tool. And by pressing Command, I can alter the shape of the curve. Now we get a whoosh. right? So you get the idea. Now, these are the basic concepts. I mean, if you want to create more epic sounds, such as this one, you're going to need effects. So let's say, for example, we're going to go back to working on a 2-bar riser. I'm going to split the clip, let's move back the loop tool, and let's remove this point. All right. So what can we do to this sound so that it's crispier, more epic, more, aggressive? First of all, we could add some EQ, where we could, using a high shelf to boost and give a lot of, crispy clarity to the top end, and maybe, have a low cut all the way up to, I don't know, 710 hertz. Let's listen to that. That's pretty cool. Now let's listen to the clip back and see how the trail ends here. That's not too bad, but we could have a trail that dies off slower. So here in the envelope, the volume envelope, you have the decay time, not the decay, the release time. So let's make it much longer. Let's say 5 seconds, and let's listen to that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now let's go back to our filter and let's move the resonance knob up to, I don't know, let's try 70%. Okay. Not too bad. Maybe the resonance was a bit too much here. Let's put in some drive, and now let's play with effects. So here at the bottom left, you have the effects tab, and right next to the filter here, you have 2 effect sends. So I'm going to leave it at effects main, and on the first slot here, I'm going to load up a, I don't know, let's try the convolution reverb. Let's put the wet knob a bit higher, keep the stereo for bigger. Okay, just like that, and let's move down the send a bit. Let's listen to that. Not too bad. Let's try a different reverb. Let's try the acoustic reverb instead. So let's move down the low gain. You don't really want low frequencies on a reverb usually. Let's not dampen any of the high frequencies. Just like that. Let's move the mix, and let's try this one. Yeah, that reverb's better. Let's keep going. Let's try, I don't know, a delay. And we are going to sync the delay poles, and let's just try it like that, see what it sounds like. Did you guys hear anything? I didn't. Let's turn off the acoustic reverb for a second here. And so personally, I like the delay better. I don't think I'm going to use this acoustic reverb. Let's keep going. We could try maybe, I don't know, a phaser. And let's sync the phaser to our BPM, which is 120. And let's just listen to it. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Maybe we could have the phaser actually before the delay. For now, I'm just going to leave it like that. And let's try one last effect on our riser. And it's going to be a sidechain effect. So here, if you go into the LFO tab, you can load up the ramp up shape, and that's gonna automate our volume on the noise generator. So how do we do that? It's very simple. Since the LFO has been defined, we can just right click here. Let's first of all put the noise volume all the way up to 0 dB and right click here on the knob, add modulation, and let's choose our LFO1. And let's listen to that. So that's another cool trick that you can use on your effects. So I do not want to overload you with sound design information. This is really just a starter tutorial to get going with custom white noise sound effects. If you have any questions, use the comments below to ask them. And I hope it was helpful. Obviously, sound design can be very, very complicated and frightening, to say the least. So let's just try to control these little parameters, you know, defining noise as a sound generation source, mastering, you know, the automations within Logic Pro X, and maybe a little bit of effects just to make the sounds more interesting and more personalized. And with just that, I think you can get going with, you know, your own transition sound effects for your EDM beats. So thank you for watching again. Subscribe to the channel, watch the other EDM videos, get in contact with me if you have any questions, and have a great day. All right, peace out, guys.